नहीं मेरी मम्मा के खा लूं तो खाना भी
Yes, I'm because anyone who can confirm that exercise is available in here. Available.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, authentication. Hello everyone. On behalf of organizing team, I'm really honored to welcome all our speakers with this guest in Paris, joining us from Florida. To this important wedding, to learn English. Today we come together not just as individuals, but as a united community that believes in creating epic futures, raising a voice of having education that we can. To take boundaries without fear or hesitation. Thank you for being here, for giving your time, your mercy, and your eyes to the cause. I am going to share the mic with Anna, who is the coordinator of this activity. Thank you so much. Ready to you, Anna.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Amna here. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So we will start our first energizer. For that will be I will ask everyone to introduce themselves with an adjective. Like I'll give you an example. I'm Amna and I'll use the adjective like if for the first words or first word.
इंट्रोडक्शन हो जाए उसके बाद बात करते हैं। सुनने में आया तुमने पता नहीं।
Guys, can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're audible right now.
Okay, we will start our first icebreaker, and that will be the introduction. Everyone, it is a just simple thing. आपको कोई परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं है या फिर कोई कुछ नहीं है, बस आपने सिंपली अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करना है। और हम इसमें बस एक फन एक्टिविटी ये डाल रहे हैं कि आपने अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस ऐसे करना है कि आपका जो नेम का जो फर्स्ट वर्ड होगा उसके साथ आप एक एडजेक्टिव यूज कर सकते हैं। जैसे कि मैं आमना हूँ, दैट स्टार्ट्स विद एन ए, तो ए से जैसे औसम आमना। So ऐसे I want that everybody participates in it and start introducing themselves like this.
Okay, let me go with the quiz. Happy Haram. I'm mentioning Mahmood.
Hey everyone, I'm Mahnul Khan, Nora and Saf. And as I have told you, my name is Mahnul Khan and I'm from Mysterious. I will like to nominate, let me see, Dua Jabbar. Dua, are you here? Okay. Aisha Nosheen. Amish Sarpa.
Assalamu alaikum. Here me Amish Sarba from FMU second year MBBS.
Okay, Amish, would you like to tell us any adjective starting from the first letter of your name?
Well, like my name is start from A, so I would go with the attractive one.
Nice. Would you like to nominate anyone else?
How about Kashyap? Guys, do not stress about it. It's just a fun activity, and we really like you to participate. Her name is Naya Said, and the first letter is B, so it is this wheeler that is included on like. Nice. How about Foha?
Assalamu alaikum. I am friendly for her from Shalimar. I would like to nominate Yashal.
Assalamualaikum. I am youthful Yashul from Shalimar Medical and Dental College.
Excellent. So, how about Laiba? Laiba Shahid? Maria?
Hello, I'm Maya Khan from RIHS and Mysterious, I guess.
Nice one, Maria. So, we'll share Ayman Almas. Seems like she's not with us right now. Alina Zainab.
Assalamu alaikum. I am autistic Alina from SMC, Sialkot Medical College. Sorry.
No problem. Thank you for introducing yourself, Alina. Samaya? I think it should be Samia. If I'm pronouncing your names wrong, I'm really sorry, everyone.
Yes, yes, it's Samia Iqbal. Hi, I'm Samia Iqbal from CPMC, and it's Smart from Samia. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, smart Samia. Really nice to meeting you. Okay, how about Hamna? Walaikum Assalam.
H for hopeful.
Nice one. Okay, we have another person, Kasir Buzdar. If I am wrong, I'm really sorry again. It's just. Are you with us? Okay, we will move on to Abdullah. Abdullah Hassan.
Assalamualaikum. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
I'm Abdullah from Rawalpindi Medical University.
Okay, Abdullah, what would be your objective?
Ma'am, so something new. आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही मुझे.
Abdullah, what would be your objective?
Seems like Abdullah couldn't hear us. Abdullah, I'm asking about your adjectives. Let's start with your name. Yeah, like your name starts with A and any. Okay, now let's move on to the next person. How about Rabia? Rabia Noreen. Guys, if anyone else is interested in sharing their names with an adjective, they can raise their hand and open the mic so they can speak to us. We just really want you guys to open up so the next activity would very easy going.
Hi, Assalamualaikum.
Yes.
My name is Mariam Ashik, DPI from CPMC, and my adjective is Mariam Monstrous.
Okay, very monstrous. Nice to meet you. And that would be our last one. Now we will start our activity, and I will hand over to Hamna. Hamna, how about you start introducing our speakers?
Can you just give me 2 minutes? You know, there is azan going on here. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Okay. Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us today from across Pakistan and beyond. It is an absolute honor for me to introduce our first speaker for today's national event under MSA Pakistan titled Suno, Mera NO, a powerful conversation on women empowerment and reclaiming our voices. Please join me in welcoming Weslyn Cristo, a passionate fourth-year medical student from Colombia. Weslyn serves as the National Officer on Reproductive Health and Rights, including HIV and AIDS for ASMCO, the Colombian Medical Student Association. She's also experienced in providing training to new human rights trainers and facilitator for open human rights and peace under IFMSA, where she actively teaches and advocates for human rights, public health, and gender equity. Known for her energy and commitment, Weslyn believes in teaching what she is most passionate about. And today, that passion is women empowerment. We are incredibly lucky to have her with us. The floor is all yours today.
Hi guys, thank you so much for that introduction. How are you?
Fine. What about you?
Good night to everyone over there. Even though it's morning here in Colombia, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really excited to talk to you. Hi, I'm really excited to talk to you about such important topic like this concept. Okay, let me share my screen. Please wait me a minute. Okay, you can see it? Right. Okay. Wait. Ready. Okay, please. Okay, all right. This session's called No Means No is meant to give you a quick introduction to what is so important to know your right to say no, okay? And understand why that no must always be respect, okay? Before we begin, we're going to do a quiz icebreaker about some myths and facts around consent, okay? I need to all you participate. Wait me. I'm going to share the code. Okay, can you see it? The code? Okay. Please, let in. I'm going to share the link in the chat, just in case. Okay, Amina. Come on, guys, come on. You can. Mariam. Okay. Okay, I like it. Let's go. Okay. I'm gonna give you 1 minute. 1 minute. Come on. Okay, for time, we're gonna start right now, okay? Okay, we're gonna start. Come on, guys, come on.
I was on mute earlier. I didn't say something.
Oh, okay, okay. Whoa. One minute, guys. 1 minute. And it's over. We have a winner. Congratulations, Mahen. Is she here? Or is he here?
Yes, I'm here.
Congratulations, congratulations. It's the win.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. All right, now that we are... Yes, yes. Now that we're going through this myths and facts, let's get started. We're going to begin with what, unfortunately, the data tell us, okay? You can see my screen great? Or you can send emoji, I don't know. But anyone can say that you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. The data tell us that 2021 State of World Population Report by the UN Population Fund, UNFPA, says that 45% of women can't freely decide about their own bodies because they fear violence or being forced into things they don't want to. This data tell us only 55% of women around the world are able to make decisions about their own bodies. This is serious, everyone, because remember, consent isn't just sexual, it's also medical, social, and cultural, okay? Only 55% of women can decide things like when to see a doctor, when to get married, or when to have children, among, of course, many other situations. That's why spies like this one are so important. If you'd like to read more about the report, I'm going to share the link in the chat. It's also included in the presentations. Okay, now that we got the data and understand why this topic is so important, let's move on to some key definitions, okay? It's important to know that while bodily autonomy and consent are not the same thing, they do go hand in hand and both help protect a person's integrity. We can define bodily autonomy like is having the power and ability to make decisions about our bodies and of course about our future, okay? Free from coercions and free from violence. And consent, as it is the free and voluntary acceptance of a person to participate in an interaction. Okay, we get it? They're not the same, but they're really closely connected. Now that we have the clear ideas of the definition, we can... Okay. Let's talk about the key qualities about make consent so important. First, we have enthusiastic. Consent should come from motivations and excitement. It's important to give an active yes, not a scared or unsure one, an active yes. Second, we have freely given. It's like consent should never come from pressures. It's not okay, guys, to guilt, to force, or training someone into saying yes. And someone, this is so important, someone can't give consent if they're unconscious or mentally impaired, like drunk or something like that. Third, we have informed. You can only give real consent when you have all the information. For example, minors can give full and free consent, okay? Which is why child marriages is not considered consent. We condemn that. Another quality important is like a specific. Consent applies to a specific act. You can say yes to one thing and no to another thing, and it's a complete valid point. And for the last one, we have reversible. You can change your mind at any time. You have the right to say yes to one thing today and tomorrow say no. And that will be respect, okay? We are all in the same page, right? Feel free up to emoji or unmute your mic if you want to say something. It's clear, okay? Okay, we have another activity. I love activity. We have a Kahoot, okay, to do a quick review with a short case to understand this topic, okay, this part of the sessions. Wait.
थोड़ा और कम करें आप मीटिंग चल रही है
Okay, I'll wait you. Wait, I sent the link. I promise it's the last one. Eh, okay. I give you 3 minutes, guys, for time. Okay. 1 minute, 1 minute. Come on, guys. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. Very good, guys. Very good. Oh, you're fast. You're fast. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay. Very good. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay. Very good, guys. And the last one. I told you. And it's very easy, guys. Come on. Four, three, two, one. Okay. So the winner is congratulations, guys. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. How is she or he here?
Yeah, it's Yashal actually.
Yashel. Okay, Yashel, congratulations
Thank
for
you.
winning. Okay. I'm gonna wait. Okay. So yeah, right. We get what concept is, but how do we actually use it? What can we do to promote it? Okay. I give you 6 steps or 6 ideas to how to use it. First, learn to listen. Sometimes promoting concept means learning to someone's silence, someone hesitations, or change of mind. Okay, not taking it personally. Wait. Okay, not taking it personally, guys. Second, we have to normalize talking about boundaries. We should be able to talk about our comfort levels without fear, without shame, or without judgment. That's how we can't build trust from other people and from ourselves. Third, speak up when something feels wrong. If we see a situation that doesn't feel right, we can say something. Our silence can sometimes protect the problem and not the people. Okay? Educate others. Every time you explain consent to a friend, a younger sibling, or even an adult, you're helping change the culture. Because remember, this isn't just a talk. The goal of this session is to the first step toward a change that begins with you. Okay? 5, practice consent in everyday life. It's not just about relationships. Yeah. You can ask him before hugging someone, respecting a no, or checking if someone is okay. All of that matters, believe me. And the last one, 6, reflect on your own behavior. No one is perfect in this world. No one. What matters is being open to learning and doing better. And to finalize, to end like our session for today, I want to share with you these following messages. When women and girls are able to make the most fundamental decisions about their bodies, they get not only autonomy, but also better health, education, income, and safety. All of this leads to superhuman
Ganito na ako may flash.
Oh. I'm sorry, I can hear it good.
Sorry for disturbance, please. Please.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Superhumans will think, and in the end, benefits after all. That was said by the Dr. Natalia Kanem, that is current executive director of UNFPA. And that's all, guys, for my talk to you today. I hope you can learn something and you can share this knowledge with other people, okay? Thank you so much again for the invitation. I hope you like it. And see you soon, I hope. I'm gonna stop share. Thank you guys for listening. Oh, I'm gonna share. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Means a lot.
It's my pleasure, guys. I'm share the report about the UNFPA in the chat if you want to read. It's very wonderful. You like it. You will like. Bye, guys.
Bye. Sure, we'd give it a read. Thank you so much.
Wait, can we take a photo?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I love the photo. Please open your cameras. I want to see you and take a photo.
Guys, can we have switched on cameras, please?
Don't be shy, guys. Hi. Okay. Cameras, guys, cameras. I want to see you. Just for a moment, just for the photo. Okay. I'm gonna take the picture now. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for opening the camera and showing me your face. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, it's Amna Laura at TPMC. I will be introducing the third speaker, Sahina Saif. She is the director of Skora at IFMSA UAE. She has been passionately advocating for sexual and reproductive health and rights. As a dynamic leader, she plays a pivotal role in raising awareness on the crucial social issues and promoting respect, consent, and empowerment. With her impactful voice and dedication, she continues to inspire young people to stand up for human dignity and equality. Thank you so much, Sahina, for sharing your thoughts with us. Over to you. You will have 10 to 12 minutes to deliver your message to us. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Anna. Thank you. Thank you for the lovely introduction. So, as she said, my name is Sahina Saif, and I'm the director of Skora IFMSA UAE. And I would like to thank Haram for inviting me to be a part as a speaker, to be a part of this event as a speaker. And I would say this is a very important initiative organized by you guys. And I think so, by seeing what has been happening around us and in the world, it is very important that we talk about women's safety, and we do a discussion on it, and we create awareness. So I would also like to thank all the participants who are attending this event, and you guys are doing a good job by taking this matter seriously, and you guys are concerned about the women's safety in your community. So thank you all for listening. And I have created a small speech on the topic, and I'm going to talk about when saying no turns deadly. So I'm sorry if some of the words which I would use would be sensitive, but unfortunately, this is the truth. So I would like to start by saying that often in life we are forced with decisions, some as simple as choosing what to eat for dinner, or others as significant as deciding whom to trust, where to live, or even whom to love. At the core of every decision lies a basic principle. We say yes to what we want and no to what we don't. But imagine this: if these two small words, yes and no, held not just the power to shape your day, but the power to decide whether you live or die. Now, for many women and even some men around the world, this is not hypothetical. This is their everyday reality. The ability to say no comes at a terrifying cost. It can strip them of peace, dignity, and tragically, even life itself. While every human being should have the freedom to accept or reject anything, a job, a marriage, a relationship, for far too many people, saying no becomes an act of rebellion. It becomes a sentence that can result in harassment, violence, and murder. Saying yes means surrendering to a life of misery, and saying no may mean surrendering your life altogether. This isn't freedom, it's a heartbreaking dilemma. Suffer silently or risk everything. Now, let me share with you stories of those who paid the ultimate price for asserting their right to choose. Gal Aden Abdi, she was only 17 years old. She refused to marry a 55-year-old man who had offered a dowry to her family. Days later, she was burned alive. Her dream was to go to school, not to become someone's bride. Her only crime? Choosing her own future. Fatma Sultani, a teenage girl who wanted to live freely, but she was stabbed 14 times by her own father outside her workplace. The justification? She bought shame. What she really bought was courage, a courage her society was not ready for. Rukia Hadri was forced into marriage by her family. Just 6 weeks later, her husband murdered her. Her case made history as Australia's first forced marriage conviction, but it was too late. Justice came after her voice was silenced forever. Sakshi, only 16 years old, she had rejected a man who harassed her repeatedly. One day, as she walked on busy street of Delhi, she was stabbed over 20 times in broad daylight. Bystanders stood and watched. Phones were raised not to call for help but to record. Ingrid Esquimilla. Ingrid tried to leave a toxic relationship. Her partner murdered her and mutilated her body, and graphic images were leaked to the media. Instead of honoring her memory, her death turned into a spectacle. Now, the question is, why does rejection lead to violence? The root of this issue lies in entitlement and ego. Too many men have been raised to believe that women's love, attention, and even her body is something they are owed. And if she denies it, she's challenging their manhood. She's disrespecting them, and society, unknowingly or knowingly, has taught them if you are rejected, retaliate. They don't walk away, they don't accept, they punish. This mindset is not born overnight. It is nurtured by movies that show persistence winning the girl, families that teach daughters to be polite and sons to be dominant, cultures that equate masculinity with culture, and a system that fails to protect women when they speak up. And this is why, when a woman says no, it is not heard as a boundary, it's taken as a challenge. Now, let's not forget the ones who survive. Rejection related violence doesn't always end in death, but the trauma is lifelong. Many women are harassed, bombarded with calls, messages, and threats, shamed publicly, labeled as arrogant, rude, or asking for it, assaulted physically, attacked, or stalked for weeks or months, silenced by fear, by families, by the system itself. And for those who live through it, the emotional cost is immense. PTSD, nightmares, fear of love, trust, or freedom, guilt for surviving when others did. Now, what needs to be changed and what can we do? We start at the root. We raise boys differently. We teach them early that love is not control, that rejection is not weakness, that masculinity is shown not by dominance but by respect. Hold media accountable. We need to stop glorifying toxic relationships, stalking, and obsessive behavior as romantic. They are not. Reform laws and speed of justice. Cases of violence after rejection need to be fast tracked. We need stronger protection orders. We need law enforcement that listens before an incident, not after. Create a safe space where women need to feel safe reporting threats. Families need to trust their daughters. Schools and workplaces must have policies that prevent harassment and support survivors. Start conversation like the ones we're having right now, because silence keeps the cycle alive. But conversation, that's where change begins. So, to everyone listening, a woman's no is not an invitation to pursue. It's not a maybe, it's not a joke. It's a complete sentence. A woman's rejection is not humiliation, it is her right. And no one should have the choose. No one should have to choose between living safely and living truthfully. So let us build a world where boundaries are respected, where women don't have to fear, don't, where women do not have to carry fear in their purses or keys between their fingers, where a woman can say no and live. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And again, thank you all for participating in this event, because you guys are doing a really good job in creating awareness. And the last thing I would like to say is, whatever you learn from this event, I would like you guys to share it and create more awareness. Share it with your friends, people who have not attended the event. Share it with them, your friends, families, everyone, so that we talk about it, everyone talks about it, and we all learn, and to hopefully we can make a change.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for all the time. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Okay, that was a very, very inspiring start by our two speakers. It's time to introduce someone whose work is in the field of sexual and reproductive health and rights, SRHR, which has created waves across the region. Our third speaker for today is none other than Muhir Pasco, a certified IFMSA full trainer in SRHR, a SCORA leader. He was our basically second speaker, a SCORA leader, and a passionate advocate for positive masculinity and youth-friendly SRHR services. Pascal is currently serving as the National Officer on SRHR in MedSAR, and over the past 2 years, he has facilitated countless trainings, empowering young people to engage with issues like teenage pregnancies, gender-based violence, and support for adolescent mothers. He is WCAT trainer, a GPHE trainer, and a graduate of the prestigious Aspire Leadership Program by Harvard University. Pasco has played key roles in organizing landmark SCORA events like SCORA Exchange 2025 and 2024, SCORA 101 regional collaboration with Kenya, campaigns like Condom Day, Contraception Day, Menstruation Day, and the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. He truly embodies what it means to be a change maker, building inclusive spaces and advocating for a healthier, more respectful world. Pasco, we are honored to have you here with us. The mic is all yours. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Am I audible to everyone? May use emojis or thumbs up so that I can know that everyone is hearing me. Okay. Yeah, as the Lana introduced me, my topic today is about culture norms and gender-based entitlement, how patriarchy and toxic masculinity fuel the inability to accept rejection, role of upbringing, media, and social expectation. Yeah, first and foremost, as the Lana introduced me, my name is Muhire Pascal, and I'm acting national officer in MedStar on SLIHR, and I'm really great to be here as we be discussing about the topic I already introduced. Most of the time, I usually say lack of money is the root of all evil, but lack of courage, pure courage, can also be the source of all evil. We are saying gender-based violence, forced marriage, physical harms, as well as emotional harms across all ages of young girls as well as women. Today, we are confronting something deeply embedded in our society, the culture normalization of toxic masculinity, especially those that make our society to be a danger to other gender. Like we have grown in a society which teaches a man that a man has dominations over the woman, and they has that power over the woman. No rejection. Rejection is not acceptable, and that's what we are discussing today. The culture normalizes toxic masculinity. The inability to accept no is not just a personal flaw. It is the learned behavior shaped by patriarchy, media messaging, and how we raise our children. This is not present in Pakistan or in Rwanda. It is all over the world, not only in Africa, not only in Asia, but also in Europe as well as in other parts of the world. We usually experience that problems. I believe that strong and vibrant culture themselves nurture tolerance and justice. All culture was the name of protect, support, and encourage diversity. When we say culture, we mean that culture that make people bond together, that regulate people activity, the culture that make people to obey the rules, to obey the laws, and able to live within the society. But when the character is harmed to any gender or to any people, it means the character is diluted and the character is no longer playing that part. Toxic masculinity refers to correction of offensive, harmful brief tendency and behavior rooted in traditional male's role, but taken to an extreme. This dangerous idea, manliness, vocalize dominations and aggression, and can be harmful to mental health of all gender. We will never reach gender equity or gender balance without compromising toxic masculinity, because everyone's either males and females play roles when we are dealing with gender-based violence. Either one gender do the harm to another gender. So to confront that things, it require all type of gender to be involved in the process. Everyone here has example of toxic masculinity. Like we grow up saying that men are tough, men should be physically strong, emotionally courteous, and behaviorally aggressive. You can hear the word aggressive when they say men must be strong. You have to be aggressive. You have to show everyone that you never tolerate any mistake. You are aggressive to everyone. And the anti-femininity, men should reject traditional feminism behavior such as showing emotion and accepting help. You usually hear that saying that men don't cry. Even here in Rwanda, we have that saying. They say that in Kinyarwanda, amarira y'umugabo atemba ajya mu nda, which is to mean that the tear of the man flow inside, not outside. You don't have to show that you are grieving. You have that you have that emotional weakness. The power. Men should work toward obtaining power and status, social and financial, and thus gain the respect of others. We have grown even in family where they teach us, you as the man, you have to go out, you have to engage in any activity so that you can get money, you can be financially stable, which later turns up men are engaged in the a harmful activity, like people are selling drugs, others are in wars, other rebellions. In that case, to show that they are fighting for those financial situations so that they can have that power, which is also bad. Patriarchy teach men that power and dominance are part of their identity. Boys grow up with message like real men don't take no for answer. You have to win her over, even if she refuses. She is praying hard to get. But let's not forget that woman also has that right to choose. They have the right to choose whoever they want to be with. You don't choose for them. They have to choose. If they say that I want to be with this one, it's their choice, and you have to respect their choice. Wherever you go, even in Pakistan, in Rwanda, as I was saying, it's the problem all over the world. The culture has adapted to that patriarchy. In Pakistan, you can say that try harder, she will come over. And in Rwanda, usually when the woman is when the girl is going to get married, they go seeking advice from their relative. They usually sentence they use. They say that you have to respect your man. You don't have to argue with your man. Whatever he say, you have to respect. And they say that we always, all of us have faced the same problems. You are not alone. We have faced the same problem, and we have managed to build our homes. And we can say that with those advice from our relative, because they have grown in that situation, that characters, we usually force gender-based violence. Women are getting divorced day to day. Some are getting killed because they have refused to accept that character, that harm they are done on them, which is biggest crisis. Those things also are strengthened up by religious. Our religious also, even Bible quotes or Quran quotes, they usually teach how the men, even in the past, have experienced that dominance, and they are not going to change, which fuels those harm toward the women. Even the male peer pressures. Boys are told that rejection makes them weak. When man is told he's worthy, come from how many women desire him, rejection become an attack on his identity. We can say that this character is not born with. This character is that it's a character we adapt by the time, by the society where we are living with. It depends on the people you live with. It depends on the society where you are living with, which is not something we can say that we have inherited it from our genes. As we know from the genetics, we usually say we differentiate males and females from X and X and X and Y. But we can say that we have that phenotype where it characterizes dominance, where it characterizes how we conduct ourselves in society toward women. Girls are told, be polite, smile, don't argue as we grow. And boys are told, win, conquer, don't take no for answer, which start early in our lifetimes. We normalize emotional suppression in boys and compliance in girls, and the result is world where one doesn't know how to handle rejection and other isn't allowed to express it. As I am moving to the end of my presentations, I can say that we as youth and the parents who may be here in the room, we are the one to challenge this patriarchy, so that we will grow in the society where no one is the victim to the characters. We'll be our future parents. So we are the one to train our children, to train our friends that that this character is biased. This character is not supporting each and everyone's. They are harming others. No is not puzzle to the code. It is not an insult to your pride. It is not a barrier to break. No is a boundary, and honoring it is what makes us as humans. Let's unlearn what toxic masculinity has taught us, and let us build a world where saying no does not mean risking your safety. Let us make dignity the norms, not the exception. Thank you. Thank you all for being here with us.
Thank you so much for your words. Really, am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Is Arif here? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now.
Hello everyone, it's Visa here, President, and it's really amazing to hear all the speakers. And uh, I hope no one is getting bored. And now it's time to introduce our next speaker. It is Zetwa Kumanda. Please correct me if I am pronouncing it wrong. It's Cora Malby, Local Officer, Standing Committee on Sexual and Reproductive Health and Right, including HIV and AIDS. Over to you, Zetwa.
Can everyone see me? And you guys can hear me, right? Okay, my name is Zaitwa. Yeah, my name is Zaitwa Kumwenda. I'm from Malawi, which is a small country in Africa. I doubt any of you here know the country, but it does exist and it's in East Africa. And as they introduced me, I'm the local officer for SCORA, and I just started this year. So this is my first year, so I'm very excited. So the topic that I'm going to do today is what the law says about consent, harassment, and safety, as well as why is justice often denied and delayed in these cases that people bring to the courts. So as discussed from the first speaker, she defined consent very well, but in the aspect of sexual activity, consent specifies that sexual activity must be freely and voluntarily given. Therefore, consent cannot be obtained through force, threats, intimidation, and false representation. So consent has a few elements, but I'm going to highlight 4 elements that consent overlies or what consent is about. So the first one is that consent should be voluntarily given, which means that it should be given willingly without pressure. So this is not doing false representation. You can't peer pressure someone into giving you consent to undergo any sexual activity. Therefore, if you ask once and the person is very hesitant to take part in the sexual activity, that shows that there is not full consent and that they're not comfortable with what they are doing. The next is that it has to be affirmative. This means that it has to be expressed through clear words and actions. A yes is a very big yes, and a no is a very big no. So if someone says, oh, maybe, I'm not sure, that is not giving full consent, and therefore it's not consent. If it's not a big yes and a big no, then you're not giving full consent, and that sexual activity should probably not go on or be continued. It should be informed, which means that it should be given in full understanding of the act. Therefore, if you and someone are having or ongoing sexual activity and you want to engage in further activity, they should be informed about what is about to go on and what you intend to do next or what you want to start. They need to understand that you're going to have sexual intercourse. Are you only going to kiss? Are you going to proceed to sexual intercourse? And you should make that clear, and that consent has to be ongoing and it can be withdrawn at any time. So just because you and I or you and another person kissed yesterday, it doesn't mean that today I need to kiss you again. Yesterday, I gave you consent and that was okay. And yesterday, I was comfortable in taking part in the act of having this sexual activity with you. But today, I may not be comfortable with you having sexual intercourse with me. So it can be withdrawn at any point in the sexual activity that you're having. So if you start and during the sexual activity, you feel that you're not comfortable to continue, consent can be withdrawn. And if the person, you can only consent to one thing. If a person has consented to kissing, then just kiss them only. They can consent to one thing and not the whole sexual activity. You can just kiss and not have sexual intercourse. And just to highlight what the first speaker said, that therefore a person must have a sober mind to give consent and have a clear mind. So a person who is unconscious cannot give consent. A person who has taken alcohol cannot give clear consent because it takes away the person's the element of it being ongoing, informed, and affirmative. So just to highlight the difference between rape and defilement. So rape is having sexual intercourse with someone who has not given consent, and this person is above the age of giving consent. So where I'm from in Malawi, I'm not sure about Pakistan and any other countries that are attending this session, but in Malawi, the age of consent is 16. Therefore, if you have sexual intercourse forcefully without consent with someone above this age, then it is considered a rape case. But if you have sexual intercourse with someone below the age of consent, then you have defiled the person. So I just want to highlight the difference between those two. So now we can move on to harassment. And harassment and consent overlap just a little bit, but just to define harassment, harassment is an unwelcoming conduct that creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment for someone that includes actions that violate a person's dignity or make them feel degraded, humiliated, or uncomfortable. So in Malawi, we have an act, and I'm sure every country has an act that looks at harassment. And in Malawi, it's called the Gender Equality Act. And these acts are there to promote gender equality and empower, and give dignity and opportunities for both men and women in full functions of society, to prohibit and provide redress for sex. So harassment can come in different forms. It can be verbal harassment, physical harassment, visual harassment, cyber harassment, discriminatory harassment, and sexual harassment. So verbal abuse are the insults, name calling, and remarks, and as well as offensive jokes towards someone. Physical harassment is an unwanted touch, pushing, or physical contact that is unwelcome. So physical harassment is not just having forceful sex with someone. This can be a simple touch. If someone tells you, don't touch my hair, don't hold my hand, and you do this act without them liking it or them wanting it, that is a form of harassment. It can be little stuff like this, or having forceful sexual interactions with one another. It can be visual harassment, which is the displaying of offensive images, cartoons, or materials. I don't know if this is applicable to any other country, but in Malawi, it is illegal to display pornography. Even having pornography on your phone is illegal. So just be aware that about what you share and what you display, especially in groups, group chats, people like to send things. So just know that that is a form of harassment. There's also cyber harassment. This is using online platforms to send offensive messages, threats, and engaging in cyber stalking. And the last one was the sexual harassment, which is unwelcoming sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of sexual nature. So in Malawi, there is a fine for harassment, which is about 1 million Malawi kwacha, which I think is about $560 US, which may not seem like a lot, but in Malawi, this is a lot to the average Malawian. This is about 10 times the minimum wage in Malawi. So this is a lot to fine a Malawian. And there's other rules on this. And if you're unable to pay this fine, you have 5-year imprisonment. The other topic that I would like to talk about is safety, which globally is under the Prevention of Domestic Violation Act. And this looks at it's under the Domestic Violence Act. And I just wanted to highlight that domestic violence does not just mean that people who are married are fighting and they're aggressive with each other. Domestic violence can be between, like I said, a spouse and between spouses. It can be between a dependent, so that is you and your parents. If you depend on your parents and your parents are being violent towards you, that is also under domestic violence. It can also be between people who have had a child together but are not living together, and there is feud between them. That is also domestic violence. It can also be someone who you are dating or you are seeing, and you have been visiting each other for a period of more than 12 months, and there's feud between you two. That is domestic violence. So it's not only between people who are married, living together. It can also be the stuff that I've highlighted. And this act is not only in Malawi, this is a global act. So if you're experiencing violence under these categories that I have shared, then you qualify as having domestic violence or have experienced domestic violence. And the other one that I forgot is that you can also be qualified to report domestic violence if you are living in the same household or residence as someone, even if you're not related to them. So if you live with relatives, uncles, aunties, and you experience this violence, that is domestic violence. So to talk about domestic violence, you can get a protection order or limitation order against domestic violence. That is a worldwide limitation that allows you to have free will and move around to amplify your safety, where the person has a restriction order and they're not allowed near you, depending on how the court allows it. It depends. Sometimes it's like 1 kilometer, 5 kilometers, depending on the nature of the domestic act. The next thing I would like to talk about is why justice is often delayed or denied. So firstly, I'll talk about this in Malawi because I'm not sure about other countries, but I'm sure it overlaps. The first is that the cost of having a court case or going to court is very expensive. And like I said, the minimum wage in Malawi, which is a third world country, is very low. The minimum wage is about 150,000 Malawi kwacha, which is about less than $200, which is not a lot per month. So the average Malawian does not have access to the courts. So therefore, we mostly rely on legal aid, and the legal aid doesn't look at everyone. So if you're lucky enough to have your court case taken up by legal aid that they can fund it, then that's when your case will be heard and taken to court. Therefore, if you cannot afford this, then your case will not be listened to, and this women don't really come up or come to the front about this because they already know that they can't afford it, so they don't even try at all. The next one is cultural beliefs and mindsets. People usually believe that going against the constitution is disallowed and that justice will not prevail if you go to the constitution. The other cultural beliefs that happen, especially in Africa, are child marriages, where the chiefs or the villages believe that children who are around 16, 15, it's okay to get married to someone who is 50, 60. So when people are defiled or raped or do not give consent to sexual activity or harassed or feel that they are unsafe, it is deemed as being natural that a man this age should want you and you should be excited that people are engaging in this activity. So usually when stuff like this happen to them, it's normal and it is what is expected of that culture. The next one is lack of legal awareness. This is just lack of civil education, not knowing what cases to bring to the courts. Is this a legal case? Is this even valid enough to bring up to the judges and explain myself and what has happened to me? And they do not really regard the court as being relative and useful to them because they don't know what to report and who to report to or how to even go forward about it. The next one is the procedures that happen in the court. In Malawi, it usually takes about 2 to 10 years to even get a hearing or a resolution about your case. So people usually get tired or just find other resolutions, or they just give up completely on the system, and cases are not usually heard, and that is one of them. And I know that in the beginning, I defined consent, and the first speaker also defined consent. But in Malawi, and I think other third world countries in Africa, they have this rule that is called the collaboration rule. So it's where if you are defiled or raped and you come to the court, you can't just say that I was raped. And they, apart from saying I was raped and explaining your testimony or what happened to you, you need to have physical evidence that you were raped. And if the judges and the people listening to your case do not find this physical evidence, then your case will be dismissed. So the types of physical evidence would be your torn clothes, signs of dismiss or trauma, and a full vaginal examination. And if they do not find evidence of these things, they take it as your word against the other person's word. So usually cases are dismissed because there's no physical evidence of rape or trauma or any harassment. Yeah, so those are the reasons why it's often denied and delayed. And yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you learned something. And if you didn't understand, I'm sure I can send these to the facilitator and she can send you the notes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rizwa. We will need another minute of your time for a photo. Are you willing?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Everyone who are willing can turn on their cameras. We have short time restraints, so a little quick. We'll wait for 30 seconds and then we'll capture the photo. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to capture it. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Now I will give it over to Amna for her energizer. Amna?
Hello, everyone. Okay, so now we will be doing a smart energize session. Me and Poha will be doing this session. It's really simple. It's just a little game in which we will name some objects, and whoever finds the object first near them would be the winner of the round. Okay, so Poha will start this session. Over to Poha.
All right. Thank you, Amna. So our first object is a charging cable. So if you guys have it around, like quickly grab it and show it in the camera so you can win this round. A normal charging cable.
I have it.
Yay, Yashal has won this round. All right. Amna, you got beat by like 1 second. Anyways, our second object is a pen that isn't blue or black. So any pen that isn't one of those colors. Okay, Zanera. Zanera, is that a blue pen though? It's ball pen. It's ball pen.
Sooner, it shouldn't be blue or black.
Yeah, it should be any color other than blue or black. Do we not have a red pen or a pink pen? Any other color?
Manu Happy, you're a pro in this game. Come on.
Yeah, I'm giving chance to other person.
Okay,
You know?
I think that works. We got a purple highlighter. I think that
Zanera,
works.
you won.
Yeah, Zanara got an 1 point. All right, I'll do one more object and then Amna will do the others. Our third object is an item that makes you smile.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I think
You're my
Amna
bad
got
boy.
that. We have this one already. Or
Yeah.
devices.
Mayam, what's that?
It's my pharma chart. Smart.
How does that make you smile?
Yeah, because every time I need something, I just go here and it makes me smart, like more medicines.
Not smart, it's smile.
It's smile. Makes you happy. Something that makes you happy.
So I can't say it's smart.
Yeah, we thought you were a sociopath for 1 second because how is that making you smile?
Okay. Anyone
Alright.
else who wants to share something that makes them smile?
iPhone.
Okay. Nice.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm
The
now
next would be something that makes a noise.
Amna, can you make it clear?
Am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Okay. I was saying something that makes a noise.
That makes a noise.
A
Yeah.
noise, a sound.
My Pete's book. I hate it.
No, but that doesn't make a noise, does it?
Annoyed.
Yeah.
It makes me annoyed.
A sound.
Okay.
Everyone, please show your participation.
Guys, it could be a device, it could be anything.
It could be anything. Okay.
My fan, if I am able to show you.
Yeah, that does.
It sure does. Okay. So we will move to the next item, and the next item would be souvenir from your trip. Anything that you brought back from your trip. A memory, maybe? Arup, do you want to show something?
What is that?
Okay.
It's a tasbih from a trip.
Oh, cute. Oh, that's nice.
That's weird.
Arup, can you show it clear? It isn't that clear. Okay. Okay. The next thing is a cup with a logo on it, or a mug. Yay, Arup won.
Yay.
Okay, great. What would you like to continue?
Sure. All right. A sticky note with something written on it. All right. Mariam has given us something.
Great.
Who is it? Poetry?
Oh, Maheen, that's a lot. That's great.
All right. Something older than 5 years. Something you've had for more than 5 years. The pen?
Oh, nice.
I have these colors from last 10 to 11 years.
Oh, damn. All right.
That's cool. Mayim, do you like to paint?
Yeah, sometimes. But I'm a bad painter.
No one's a bad painter.
Except me.
That's a great. No. Okay. So, would any of our speakers like to participate? Do you want to show us something? A souvenir from your trip, maybe, or anything that makes you happy? Tahina, Zaitwa, anyone?
My pillow. My pillow makes me happy because I can sleep and I love to sleep.
Okay. Well, you can continue.
All right. Our next item is something that represents your hobby.
It's my hobby.
What is that, Mahnoor?
That's a great hobby. Mine too.
Ooh,
Amna, what's that?
I think it's
Oh,
a
it's
candle.
That's my hobby, collecting the candles.
Cute.
A photo that makes me feel at home.
Oh, great.
That is sweet. I want to do our next item to be something that smells good, but I do think वो फिर से candle दिखा देगी because that is the only thing I can think of that smells good. Amna, do you want to do the next item?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the next item is something that's fluffy.
Fluffy.
It could be anything. Hello. Great, Amna, Fuha.
I have like 5 more right here on my bed.
Okay. Okay, the next item is something from the fridge. Does anyone have something near them that's from the fridge? Okay, I'll show it. Here's my water bottle. It's from the fridge.
I take my mug from the fridge.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Great. Okay. So the next item is your favorite snack. Okay, let's see what are your favorite snacks. Lays. Okay. That's universal. Anyone else? You can just name your favorite snack, I guess. Oh, Maheen. That's looking delicious.
That's the Pakistani brand.
I've never
Oh, yeah,
seen
great.
it before. That's neat.
Yeah, me too. But that's looking delicious. Someone said snackers. They're delicious too. Muhir, do you want to tell us your favorite snack? Or Sahina? Are you guys with us? Parambadi, you are not participating. Do you want to tell us your favorite snack?
Which one I have to tell? Favorite?
Snack. Your favorite snack.
Favorite snack?
Arup said ice cream. Mine too, Arup. Yes, Haramapi, your favorite snack.
Okay, you can say Cheetos. I love that. Oh my God, but we are so similar.
Aisha said says fries. Okay, great. Okay, let's move to the next item. The next item is anything that is rectangle and green.
Rectangle and
Green.
If someone has Pakistan's flag lying around, that would work. Rectangle and
I have a pillow. It's rectangle and it's green, but
oh, that's perfect, Anna.
Perfect. Koha, you can continue.
Yeah, okay. Something you cannot live without.
Oxygen.
Oh,
my phone.
but you
That
can't
would be
show off season here. Can you,
True.
Mariam?
I was fully expecting someone to pull up a lip gloss,
True.
right? Our next thing could be a piece of jewelry if you have any lying around. For men, it could be a watch or sunglasses.
I got pins and ponies if they count.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Great.
Well, I have a good one. something you would not sell for any amount of money.
Hmm.
I don't know that.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
Let me think. Could it be?
No one has anything? That's surprising. Anything sentimental?
Can you repeat the question? I guess it wasn't really audible.
Something you would not sell for any amount of money. Something very priceless.
Should it be something tangible?
No, honestly, since no one really has an answer, I think anything would work.
Someone said my heart.
I would say mental peace.
Mental peace. You need to have that in the first place to be able to sell it.
Yeah, true.
Right now it's ruined. Getting into med school can ruin it.
Essence said WhatsApp. Miriam said, sorry, what was it? What was it? Yeah, Miriam said self-respect. Aisha said depends on the amount of price.
Everything has a price, I do think that.
Okay, next.
Next object. Everything I can think of is very girly, and that's not fair since guys are here too.
You can think of something else. Maybe a bat? Anyone has a bat near them? Does anyone have a bat near them?
A bag, right?
Bat. Bat ball.
Oh, I thought a bat.
Since you said everything was girlish.
Yeah.
Although I also play cricket, but
yeah, some girls should have it too. I don't think I do. I feel like people have stuff in their room, but they can't be bothered to go and pick it up, right? Because I know I
yeah,
wouldn't
I
do
guess.
that. There we go. Thank you, Maheen.
Thank you. Okay. You're welcome. The next thing would be anyone wants to suggest something?
A hand knitted pouch like that, like crochet or something. I have.
Manu, Papi, can you please? Oh, great.
Oh, that is
Mine,
so
that's
cute.
really cute.
Oh, that
Thank
is.
you. That's it.
I know your pouch is
Okay.
handcrafted.
My mother made it for me.
Oh,
Like,
cute.
10
Very
years
cute.
ago.
That was a
It's
very
really
nice
pretty.
suggestion.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Anyone has an umbrella with them?
Umbrella. Umbrella, or
Yeah.
make that umbrella or sunglasses. Anything that protects you from the sun.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we have an umbrella, right?
It's really needed nowadays.
Yeah, true. Does anyone have a plant or a succulent around? Mother has everything around.
Actually, I'm not in my baby.
I told you she's a pro in this game.
That is very pretty. All right.
Wait. Okay,
Does
anyone
anyone
wants to
have
show?
wait?
Go on,
But
Fahad. Go ahead.
I was just
No,
gonna say,
Fahad, go
does
on.
anyone have any themed object around, like merch of a show or a singer?
Mm, I think I have something like that.
I have this mug with Shawn Mendes on him. I got it in like third grade.
Oh,
When I was oh, you have an Among Us cup? That is adorable.
great.
I
Great.
still play that game. I don't care if it's old school now.
Great. Okay.
I feel like since we're already on this topic, if everyone could tell their favorite shows. You know you aren't audible. Can you repeat that? Yeah, now you are.
I think we should start a new game, like a new icebreaker.
Which one?
Any new icebreaker. Okay, guys, I have prepared some questions related to consent. I would love sharing it with you. Yep. All
Yeah.
guys have to raise your hand or just unmute yourself and let me know correct option according to you. Okay.
All right.
According to you, what is consent? Option 1, agreement to something. Option 2, ignoring someone's feelings. And option 3, a form of pressure.
First option.
First option.
First option.
Yeah, first option.
Good. Amna, just let me know, okay,
It's
first,
first option.
who is the one giving the correct answer first?
Yeah, okay, great.
The next one, which of these is not a sign of not? N-O-T, not. A clear and enthusiastic yes. Someone saying maybe. Someone actively participating.
Someone saying maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So
Maybe.
Mahi got the answer right, I guess.
The third one, what should you do if someone is not giving clear consent? Okay. Option 1, continue anyway, they'll come around. Option 2, stop and respect their boundaries.
Stop and respect their boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What
Mariam
should
got the
you
answer.
do? What should you do? Third option, try to convince them, change their mind. Now, what is the correct answer?
Second option.
Second.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You are right. It seems like a big test, like we have it in nursery class and something like that. True, false, tick, cross. Consent can be given if someone is intoxicated or under the influence of drugs.
False.
False.
Consent can be given and taken back at any time.
True.
True.
Laura and Fab, I would like to share my views related to consent in our country, Pakistan. So, according to the terms, Pakistan does have a specific age of consent or sexual activity outside of marriage, as well as like sexual activity is concerned. It's considered as illegal. However, the minimum age of marriage for men is 15 and for women is 16, except in like there exists exceptions in most of the cases. So Islamic law, which applies to Muslims in Pakistan, permits marriage at puberty. However, Pakistani law penalizes underage marriages, but it doesn't validate. Council of Islamic Ideology has the setting minimum age for marriage other than puberty. So informed consent is very important, like being a Muslim, being a human, being a woman. It's very important. It's essential in Pakistan's healthcare system also. Although its implementation is limited, like we have lack of established regulations, don't have proper laws and regulations. But we as a medical professional should follow ethical considerations in our institutions, in our life, even in our society, because we are cream of cream, being doctors, being medical students. So I think at least we should respect others' boundaries, respect their consent, right? Guys, if you want to ask or want to share your thoughts, you can unmute yourself and let us know. I would be very happy listening to you all. Yes, Kashmala. So, do you have any? Do you want to share any thoughts related to consent related to our today's webinar? Okay. Do we have any poets or poetesses here? Guys? Amna, do you want to share any thoughts?
Sorry. Yes, sure. Okay. Consent, yes. A yes is a yes and a no is a no. Clear and loud. Don't you know? Respect the boundaries. Hear them loud. Consent is key. Never back down. Give and take. Give your consent freely and clear. Take the time to think. Don't fear. Listen to others. Hear their voice. Respect their choices. Make some noise. Empowerment. Consent is power. It's a right. To say yes or no, day or night, it's a choice, a decision, a voice. Empower yourself. Make some noise. Respect. Respect the no, respect the yes, communicate clearly, do your best. Consent is crucial, don't forget. A yes is a yes, a no is a no, but yes. You bet. Sorry. Thank you.
Was it a poem?
No.
It seems like a poem. Nice one.
Thank you.
Okay. I think time for our speaker.
Yeah, sure.
It was lovely talking to
I
you.
guess Koha will.
Yes.
Thank
Our
you.
Thank you so much. All right. Our next speaker is Fatma Faraz Hoti, who is a youth empowerment and climate action leader from Peshawar, Pakistan. As a member of the Prime Minister's Youth Council, she bridges grassroots activism with policy to empower marginalized communities. She has led climate literacy campaigns for 15,000 plus students and advised on national digital literacy reforms. Fatma also champions sustainable tourism and women led corporations as Goodwill Ambassador for STC Pakistan. Fatma, you have the stage.
All right, Assalamualaikum everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing great. First of all, I'm really sorry. I got a bit late because I had really bad internet. I am honored to be a part of this wonderful conversation that is initiated by the Medical Students Association. So are there any sort of like questions do you have to ask, or should I just go on?
You can continue, Fatma. If anyone has a question, they can ask at the end of the
Okay, all
session.
right.
Thank you.
I will talk a little bit about myself. I am working as a climate activist since the past 4 or 5 years. I started at the age of 13 back in 2019, and since then I've been organizing climate strikes, seminars, plantation, and cleanup drives for the awareness of climate change. Other than that, I've represented Pakistan at the United Nations Water Conference, and I am also part of the Prime Minister's National Youth Council. So I feel like the topic that is been allotted for today is super important, super crucial in times like these. Whenever we are working in this public workspace, organizing, mobilizing, being all the time on the streets, demanding for our rights, be it at the courts, be it on the roads, through strikes or seminars, or any other thing, I feel like people usually misunderstand certain boundaries that you have created for your own self, and they mistake your kindness for something else, which is super wrong, I would say. So again, in times like these, knowing how sensitive this issue has become because of certain incidents that took place recently, like the I mean, it's super triggering to mention it, but the Sana Yusuf case and other multiple incidents that are taking place all over Pakistan and also all over the world. I would say that it is important to know your boundaries, how to set them in the workspace, and how to make others know that what a no means. I guess you guys would have talked about it earlier as well, but something that I would like to add upon is that young girls my age, by the way, I'm 19 and I just got done with my A levels. So I feel like for them, even girls like me, they're not usually aware of certain rights that they have in the constitution in Pakistan. If For example, in certain times consent is not given such importance in today's world, even today, when people are asked about consent, their rights, what does a no mean, they usually communicate it. For me, I feel like it is super important to be aware of what your rights are, what you have to say, and how much importance your word holds. So yes, are there like any questions or someone who's moderating the session? I would prefer if the participants could ask me questions regarding something, because if I'm talking generally about just consent and saying no and its importance, I guess it would become a bit boring. So, do you guys have any questions? You can ask me anything. All right, I guess I have to take over. I don't see a moderator. I'm really sorry I wasn't a part of the session since the beginning. So I don't really know how this whole session is working. I don't see a moderator in the chat. So, yes, we'll just talk about random incidents. I'll also like to share a little story that I wanted to share with all the girls that are present over here. So, a while back, while working with the Prime Minister's Council, we had to organize a climate literacy session in the Waziristan region, which is located in the north, and that region is mountainous. You have no internet access over there, and while working over there, most of the girls told me that whenever there are floods or heat waves or any natural disasters, so the girls of the families are married off in order to lessen the burden, which is again a consequence of climate change. So I usually would go on and ask them how would they justify those acts? So did they have any right to say no to it? Did they have any right to interfere in the decisions that were made by their parents? And the answer I would get was that no, they're not usually allowed to say anything in the decisions that are made by their elders or the elders of the society or the elders of their own family. And that was super concerning. I mean, girls my age should be in school, but again, they are at this place which is making their health at risk, their psychological growth at risk, their I mean, any sort of potential that they hold is at risk. I see a hand risen. All right. So if someone has it has their hand raised, please ask the question if you guys have any.
I think it are boundaries with consent, right? In a relationship.
I'm so sorry, Manu.
I think that we should communicate our boundaries, especially when we are like a relationship, right? Then how should we communicate our boundaries? Am I
All
audible?
right. So, I think the question is about how to communicate our boundaries in situations. Also, there's another question in the chat box. What resources are available for individuals who have experienced situations where no was not respected? I will answer that in a while. I think I can answer that well. But first, I would like to talk about this certain thing, creating boundaries. So, usually in workspaces, creating boundaries is often overlooked. I feel like a clear communication of what you feel comfortable in is super important. Usually, even girls at our end, I feel like the problem that lies is that we do not communicate it openly and clearly, which creates a source of a kind of misunderstanding, a bubble, which because of which we're usually misunderstood. So I feel like a clear communication and firstly, having a clear mindset of what your boundaries are. If I am working in a space with all men around me, or even people, other genders that I am not feeling safe around, I should know what are the things that trigger me, what are the things that are crossing my boundaries. And first, I should be with for example, if there are things like touching, there are things like language, there are things like invitations to certain things. If I am not okay with those, firstly, I should have a clear mindset that these are the things that we are not okay with, and then having the confidence is the key. I mean, just say it, communicate it to the other person in a very respectful manner that these are the things which I mean trigger you or are not you're not okay with. So I feel like communication is the key to that. Even in a workspace, it should be your responsibility. It should lie at your end to inform the other person, be it your colleague, be it your boss, be it anyone, that they should know what your boundaries are, what you're allowing, and what you're not. Other than that, if we talk about certain laws and regulations, I feel like a person studying law or a practitioner in this thing would have been a better person to answer these. But I feel like the cyber crime portal is always so active, but we overlook at it. We do not really use it for the right purpose. So the CIA wing, and there is this specific number which I think I'll share it with the team, and they would share in the chat box as well. So those are the helplines through which we can file complaints. The cyber crime and also the harassment wing are always active, and they do listen. They do take your complaints and suggestions. I also share a personal experience. Recently, I was experiencing cyber harassment. So it was through Instagram, it was online. and it was coming from male individuals, and I was not okay with it. So what I did was that I went on the website of the FIA and also the cybercrime, and I registered a complaint, and I got a call within the next 24 hours, and my complaint was filed. So I feel like usually there are resources available, however we do not check them. They have lawyers sitting 24/7 to listen to our concerns, to our queries. So I think we should also check those online. I think there is another question in the chat box, and it is someone hoping that we could discuss laws and regulations that protect rights and integrity of women against harassment, especially at workplaces and helplines, etc. So the helpline I shared about it. However, I am forgetting the number right now. So I would request the team to share it with the participants later if they are in a group or something. Also, that online portal and certain Instagram accounts who are sharing search resources on a daily basis. So that could be super helpful for the person. Manur, you have your hand risen. So do you have another question to ask me?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
Manur.
Sometimes, like when someone asks us about like our consent, sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. So, how can we handle disagreements and misunderstandings related to consent? Like,
Could you please repeat your question? I'm really sorry, you're not clearly audible.
when someone asks us about our consent, sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. So, how can we handle disagreements and misunderstandings related to consent? Like, in the way that it doesn't affect our future relation, our friendship, our. Can I repeat?
All right, I got your question. I'll answer you in 2 minutes, please. I feel like Manu, consent should be clear. It shouldn't be a maybe. It should either be a yes or a no. See, this is the problem. Whenever we are asked about certain things that are off our limits, we usually don't know how to deal with those. So I think that it is our responsibility to have a clear mind. If the answer is a yes, then you should mean it. If it's a no, then you should mean it. It shouldn't be a maybe or something in between. But when it comes to, I mean, respecting the other person or being so mindful that it doesn't ruin your work relationship, or it doesn't, I mean, hurt the other person in any way, which I don't think we should be caring about too much in this year. But however, a respectful manner, a respectful way in order to communicate your answer is the right thing. And again, one suggestion from my side or from my experience working in the development sector, working with so many different kind of people, I would say that we should always have a clear answer. It's either a yes or either a no. So, the way we are communicating our no's should also be respectful. It shouldn't always degrade the other person, or you shouldn't always have this idea in your mind to humiliate the other person, even if it's something that you are not okay with. You should always have a respectful way, a respectful manner, and an ability to just communicate and make the other person feel that you are not okay with certain things. So then again, it is our responsibility, and this session is for the people to just be aware of how things should be handled and how we are experiencing things in this era. So, I would one suggestion again. I am re-emphasizing on this, and that is that we should always have a clear answer. It's either a yes or either a no. No in between in sensitive cases.
I guess we should teach consent at at school level and college level also, right? So it's my question that how can we effectively teach consent to students of like primary class, students of school?
All right, Mahnoor, I could get a bit of your question, and that is that, for example, if it's at school level, how should we, teach the younger kids about consent? So, if that's the question, it is super important to know your age group of students. So, whenever when it, I will correlate it with my climate literacy campaigns. So, when we are educating kids of ages between 8 to 12, our curriculum design for them is different from the one that we teach for the ages between 16 to 20. So we should always specify the audience whom we are teaching. When it comes to consent specifically, it is a sensitive, it is not a sensitive topic, however, regarding it in our societies, we usually look at it very differently. So if I am at a school teaching younger kids, younger girls about consent, girls and boys, I should have a way of teaching them that makes it interesting for them, fun for them, and not something that they see as a different thing. For example, when we are teaching younger kids about certain things that are a bit related to their body parts, their sexual activities, they see it very differently. So I think that it is super important to always know your right audience, to always create a curriculum specific for them, specific for their understanding, and then at the same time, our way of communication should be way softer as compared to how we teach the older age groups. As now I am talking to, I feel like a much older age group, so I can talk about anything and everything because I know that they are mentally mature and they know what is happening around the world. However, the younger kids don't know what just happened recently or the incidents that are taking place or what could happen if I say yes to something that I am not okay with, if I say yes to something which I am forced into, or something which I am just my surroundings, the people around me tell me that it is something good, but it's something totally bad for me, for my health, for my reputation, for anything. So I think that we should be super mindful of how we communicate whatever we are teaching, and do it in a much softer, in a much better way for the younger kids, and make it interesting for them and not something that they get scared of.
Thank you, ma'am. We have some questions in our chat box.
I do see a question, and that is super interesting. It is by Madiha, and if it's for me, I will answer this. It says, why do people, especially women and marginalized groups, sometimes feel unsafe or unable to say no? See, whatever we get, whatever we get as an answer for saying no is usually not something that a random person would be able to digest. For example, we are in situations, and I've worked with the marginalized communities, and we have worked on, I mean, awareness regarding menstrual hygiene. We have worked on awareness regarding girls' education, and others topics that are usually, I mean, a taboo is created around them. So, when it comes to saying no or consent, first of all, I would say that sadly they have very less education. They are not much aware of their rights. They're not much aware of what could happen if they say yes to because of the reaction of the person, the a person of usually the opposite gender, because of the incidents that are taking place around the world. Even a girl like me, I'm working with international organizations. I'm working in one of the leading organizations of Pakistan. And still at my own workspace, if I experience something like this where I have to say no directly to something that is crossing my boundaries, at times I do feel unsafe and I am scared, because unluckily we live in a country where justice is served very late, where, I mean, there are rules, there are regulations, there are authorities. However, there is very less implementation. So, of course, if a person leaves villages with a lot of luxuries around them, with a car to travel in, if they feel unsafe, how could a girl or a person or a young individual from a place like Waziristan or from a place like Gadir or from a place like Swat feel safe? I mean, how would they even they know the aggression, the aggressiveness, and the reaction that they would get from other people, from the people that they're talking to. So I think it's at times I wouldn't even blame them, because whatever the ongoing situation our country is, even I would feel unsafe or I would feel very scared to say no to certain things. However, it would definitely protect me from multiple other things that my yes could lead to. I think that your
Good evening. I have a question कि एजुकेशन बिगेंस एट होम, तो फिर बेसिकली हमें ये पेरेंट्स नहीं बताते होते कि हमने कैसे कम्युनिकेट करना है सोशली, और ये ड्यू टू सोशल नॉर्म्स, तो ये एक पूरा एक गैप क्रिएट हो जाता है सोसाइटी में, जिसकी वजह से डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम्स फेस होती हैं। लाइक लोगों को पता नहीं होता कि अगले की बाउंड्रीज क्या हैं और उनको रिस्पेक्ट कैसे करना है। तो हाउ शुड वी डील विद द पर्सन जिसको पता ही नहीं है बाउंड्रीज को कैसे रिस्पेक्ट करना है और क्या करना है उस बारे में।
You're so right, Ahsan. I mean, whatever you said about education begins at home, and now how it is the responsibility of parents to teach their kids how to communicate. I do agree with you. I mean, if we look at another topic that I would say lies parallel to this, and that is, for example, good touch and bad touch. So, usually it is not taught to younger kids at homes, but when they grow up, they go to schools and colleges. They do realize what a good touch is, what a bad touch is. However, they go through certain experiences which makes it, I mean, sometimes they're harassed, sometimes they're touched in a way which makes them feel that, oh, this is wrong touch, this is bad touch. The same way, I would say, is consent. Most of the kids are not taught about it at homes. Most of the kids are not taught how to say no to certain things, how to communicate openly, how to communicate easily, how to, or even at times, how to be okay with other people's opinion. So if I talk as an individual about my own experiences, so we grew up in families where we are taught how to communicate with another person, how you can say no. But usually the topic that is left behind or left out of the conversation is how to coexist with other people's opinions. And that is what I think is way more important, how you should be okay with if how another person's no. So I think that this should begin at home, and we should take this step for this. We should initiate these conversations how we are doing right now. I mean, I'm really sorry for the background noises and everything, but I think that it lies on upon us to communicate these conversations at home, on local in local communities, on school level, on a national level. So this way I think we can educate a ton of masses regarding this thing and spread awareness on how it is important. Consent and the conversations around it are important. Do we have another question, or someone from the participants would like to add something to whatever I said?
Thank you so much, Fatma. That was very helpful of you. We really learned a lot from you. Now the session is going to end, and at the end we are going to capture a picture. Guys, this is going to be the last picture. So anyone who's available and can turn on their cameras should start turning them on, and after this the whole meeting is going to end.
All right. Thank you, everyone. It was so wonderful talking to all of you. And I hope that it was helpful. The session was helpful for you guys as well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Yes. A or B, this or that.
Okay, guys, anyone else who wanted to join us for the picture and can turn on their cameras? Seems like these are all. Now I'm going to capture the picture. Cheese. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much to the speakers for giving us such an informative.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much
I think
all for
now we
joining
should
us today.